There's always the fear whenever there's an anime adaptation of an ecchi series that it's going to be like censored in some way. Like something's going to be toned down for television broadcast or whatever, but it's always nice whenever a series actually gets more edgy. It actually gets more edgy. That whole segment where they're in the bath was completely anime original. Well, the context and the conversation itself is in the manga, but they're not in the bath. They're in a street and they're fully clothed and everything like that. So it was nice to have a little bit of a bob battle there, a nice little bob battle, and then eventually having him shoot out, which I don't think was in the manga. Like that whole like pressure creation and just shooting him out of nowhere. That was crazy. Absolutely bonkers episode 5 of Beheneko. Really did enjoy this episode. I got to liking Stella, which again, for those that missed my previous episode impressions, I not that I didn't like the character, it's just I don't like the design. I hate the Jaws teeth. It's growing on me, but at the same time, I do like her character. I like what they're kind of presenting with her. She's just more primal. We're getting to a yes, mostly comedic, but getting into a primal concept here. I like the whole idea of her like reflecting on the idea of them being in a party and how much she liked to see parties come to fight her when she was a dragon, and how their camaraderie was there. They were so well in sync and everything like that, and they just looked like they're having fun. Just smashing. There's like a shot of her literally crushing somebody to death in blood, and she's like, they look like they were having so much fun. Again, it's like an interesting primal look into a character, even though they're supposed to be part of the group. It's kind of dangerous. It's like there's a side of me that almost thinks that, Tama, do you really think that she should be around? If you liked Arya so much, do you really think you should have Stella around? Because yes, there is a sense here that she is sort of still primal. Like that feeling is still coming out of her. She still wants to destroy things. But again, she's still kind of respecting the hierarchy system they have there of Tama being really powerful. And yes, Arya not so much, as we find out in this episode. Which, yes, let's get into the episode. Opening it up with, yes, them eating together, which was funny because like when it first opens up, I'm like, we've never seen Arya like sitting and dining all refined like that. Like she's all dressed up and she's eating all properly. And I'm like, why is she suddenly, is she trying to teach Stella how to be proper or whatever? But yeah, getting in there talking to each other in their minds, and then eventually him saying, don't tell her that I'm a behemoth. Oh, I won't tell her. That means you could be mine. Like, yeah, I won't blackmail you. Like she's almost like, I'm going to blackmail you. No, I won't blackmail you yet. Like I could, in the manga, it more puts in the idea that she could technically say that he's a behemoth, and that might get Arya to leave him, and then he'll be all to her. But in the anime, it more puts in the idea of like, yes, don't tell her. I'll tell her in order to force you to be mine or whatever. Or I won't tell her if you'll be mine, kind of thing. Again, blackmail, which again is kind of funny. But anyways, they decide they're going to be coming adventuring because it's the best way in order to spark memories to come back to Stella. Because again, Arya believes that she's forgot everything. And so they go to get some armor. And I love the fact that they open into the armor sequence. And then, yes, she has this outfit on. And immediately Vulcan's like, are you okay with wearing that? And my mind immediately goes to, you just... Do you not remember Arya's outfit? Holy crap, the armor you made for Arya is like way looter. Why is that a concern? I think it's more playing around the idea that yes, she's not armored on her arms. And yes, that opens up the door to the whole idea of her being a dragon newt, which she's not technically, but I don't know, I guess that could be it. It could be not necessarily that her skill is to awaken her earth dragon self in her human form, but more of an idea that she'd been reincarnated as a dragon newt. Now, that could also mean the idea that anybody that is a dragon newt could just technically be a reincarnation of a dragon. I don't know what they're kind of implying there, or if they're even trying to imply something there, but yes, Vulcan wants some of her scales. She immediately starts, ooh, dragon newt, oh, the scales, I want some of these scales, these materials, and Stella's like, you're scaring me, stop it. But yeah, this gets into getting weapons, which yes, she runs around for a little bit, eventually chooses a shield. In the manga, it does, obviously, I mean, it seems like it's pretty obvious from the anime's perspective, but in the manga, it's a little more specific there that, yes, technically this shield, very unique looking shield, was used to be worn by somebody that was very, very strong. They actually technically had a skill called Steel Wall, which was an ability that would, deflect any attack unless it was a lethal attack. And they had armor and everything like that. And they were so strong that they were able to move around without a problem. And so it is kind of shocking to her that Stella, without using a skill, literally just picks it up. Which, yes, then later on when she gets the sword, she's like, nothing surprises me anymore. whatever, pick up everything without even showing any effort, one-handed. Again, technically implies once again that Vulcan obviously was insinuated before, was a part of this like hero group that was going around and saving everybody. So used to be part of a really powerful group. And yeah, it kind of implies something later on when that merchant eventually shows up that, yeah, technically she seems like she has something that she's supposed to do. Like she can't go with them to, relocate this dragon scale because she can't leave her shop for too long, that she has something to do with the kingdom. Now, that kind of implies the idea that maybe the king is in talks with her and that there's possibly something coming to the city that she needs to be a part of. Kind of implies the idea that she has a job that she has to finish. Maybe she has some armor or something that she has to prepare for some war or something like that. I'm kind of curious what that all is, but again, it's kind of implying that Vulcan's kind of somebody important. They just don't want to say anything yet for some reason. But I did like the fact that he knows that, I didn't really think that you're going to pick up a shield. This doesn't seem like something that you would have picked up. Again, assuming you'd pick up some weapon so you can destroy things. And yes, implying the idea that, yeah, once you beat me, you taught me something. You taught me that I need to be more worried about my defenses and all that kind of stuff. And it was kind of a cute little thing there. Yeah, and asking him, do you think that my death to your hands is bothering you or whatever? I'm perfectly fine with it because now I get to be with you. You basically, I met somebody that was stronger than me. And again, that's kind of, again, very primal instincts there, that something defeated me. Now I'm going to obviously submit to it. It's a cute little thing. Yeah, that's when they go to the dungeon. She literally immediately drops her weapons. I don't even think that was in the manga. That was a funny little bit there. Just like immediately charges them and drops the weapons and goes just claws at them. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot my weapons. I still got those. Then, yes, going to meet a more tougher enemy. The enemy to women, the Roper. It's so dorky. Immediately get some nice little spicy shots of everybody. But yes, running in there. And again, showing that aspect of the instincts coming up again. The idea that, yes, it pinned her down, spat at her, but more so the idea that she immediately started going into a frantic stage. Kind of went back to primal instincts and starts going crazy. And then, yes, Tama saves them and, yeah, wakes her up. But yes, it implies that because Stella was once defeated by Tama, it has put a fear in her to things that are unknown. The idea that she's never met a Roper before, and she never met Tama. Well, she technically did meet Tama before, which is kind of weird, but she only fought Tama one time and didn't know anything about Tama, and Tama immediately destroyed her. And now here, something that's unknown, which is the Roper, is kind of, again, giving her a challenge. It's making her panic and freak out and go primal. And yes, I like the fact that he's pretty much instilling to her, I'll protect you, just fight as a human. Didn't really put it that way in the manga, but it kind of makes sense there. Don't worry, don't go crazy. And yes, technically this entire time up until this point, he's constantly sort of uneasy about Stella being there because, again, she seems very vicious and bloodthirsty. And yes, also implying the idea that she's kind of something that would probably bother Arya because Arya, looks up to the Sword Saint, and the Sword Saint apparently didn't like blood. So right here, it's somebody that would be completely opposite to what she really looks up to. So yeah, it all kind of adds together this idea of, yes, not wanting to be more primal, be more human, and fit in with the group, which adds to everything else. And the idea of having a party, her being the tank, being the frontliner, trying to work with the group, her finding joy and actually, fighting alongside everybody. It's all again, very simple, but also very cute. But no, yes, in order to save them, uses his tentacle ability, which is a bunch of cattails. He finally uses his tentacle skill, and it's a bunch of tails, some cute little tails, and it protects everybody. And yes, unlocks a new interest in Arya. She really badly wants him to use those tentacle tails on her again. It's just like, really? And Vulcan's like, dude, stop being horny in the dungeon. You gotta stop being horny in the dungeon. Stop it, girl. And yes, we get the whole bath scene, which again was kind of funny. The idea that, yeah, pretty much through all the fighting they did, Stella realizing at this point that Arya's not really powerful. And again, he kind of noted that to her that at some point, she saved my life and that's why I've devoted myself to her. Now Stella's realizing that wasn't really in a method of she was stronger than him, just simply that she was there. And so, yeah, establishing this, and she wants to be higher in that hierarchy, again, being more primal. I want to establish myself as the pride leader, basically. I want to take on this role. And immediately jumping in there, they got the Bob battle going on. Oh, and he's like frantically going into her chest, and she's like, oh, look, he's more comfortable in my chest, so I win. And then Vulcan again, Vulcan's over there, best girl. Again, Vulcan, best girl. Vulcan over there like, y'all chill. I mean, Arya will be the main wife, and us will be the second wives. And she's like, no, I want to be the first wife. Vulcan's perfectly happy with the harem aspect. I don't think Arya's against it, but Vulcan's like, hey, dude, chill. There's plenty of him for everybody. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. All these girls are just all fighting for a cat. It's so funny because I keep seeing comments and stuff on Twitter and whatnot of people just like noping out. And it's like, it's just a fake show. Are you really that offended by this stupid show about a cat with a bunch of horny girls around him? It's not like anything's gonna happen. It's anime. It's never gonna really happen. It's just an ecchi show. I just find it absurd. It really is what it is. I just find it hilariously absurd. But yeah, they get out of the dungeon. They go back to guild later to get her signed up as a part of the adventure guild. And then yes, it was kind of interesting because right here. Stella picks up something on Anna. Like Stella immediately like, this person's dangerous. There's something about this person. like she's picking up on something about Anna, which I guess is implied that Anna's probably something really powerful because again, Anna knows this great hero guy probably was a part of that group. But yes, this merchant shows up, has a job for them that they're to escort, again, we find out later on, the skeleton of Stella, the Earth Dragon, which immediately I was like, yeah, what happened to that? Because back there, yes, technically Tama brought that there because, yeah, killed Stella and then wanted to take the eye to cure Arya. But I was like, what happened to all those materials? Because they were talking about like all these trolls and stuff that he made money for Arya to help her out while she was down. And I'm like, but what about the Earth Dragon? The manga right here does technically imply that, yes, Tama, after they did that with the Earth Dragon, Anna then took the skeleton at that point. Because he gives Tama a wink at this point. Like, yeah, we got it. So it does technically answer what happened to it, that it was sold. And I'm guessing Arya got that money, or I'm assuming at that point. But yeah, Stella doesn't look too good. So I'm curious how, I mean, I'm not sure if Stella's going to be really bothered by the whole situation. I mean, I don't see her being bothered by it. I mean, it's not like she was rushing back down the dungeon to try to find her body. I don't know why she would care. I guess that technically does mess with somebody to see their own corpse. But I don't know that I would assume that she's simple-minded enough that it wouldn't bother her that much. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that's my thoughts on episode 5 of Beheneko. Still turning out to be a fun little series. Really enjoying it. But I hope you guys enjoyed my video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below. If you like this content, you want to support channel more, I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciate it. Until next time, y'all take care.